Have you ever been judged by the way you looked, without anyone knowing your real story? Imagine standing at the front desk of a hotel with your tired little daughter beside you, asking for a room, only to be told you don't belong there. Now imagine that hotel is actually yours. Before we begin, remember that one act of kindness, or one moment of unfair judgment, can change someone's life forever. This story is a reminder that respect should never depend on appearances. If you enjoy heartwarming stories that restore your faith in humanity, don't forget to subscribe to Kindness Moments, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Tell us, have you ever witnessed someone being judged unfairly? We'd love to hear your story. Michael Carter was a single father raising his 8-year-old daughter, Emma. Life hadn't been easy since his wife passed away 3 years earlier. Every day, Michael balanced work, parenting, and making sure Emma still smiled despite the pain they both carried. Years before, Michael's father had built a beautiful hotel in a small American town. After his father's retirement, Michael became the owner. But unlike many wealthy business owners, he rarely wore expensive suits or flashy watches. He believed the best way to understand his business was by experiencing it the same way his guests did. One rainy Friday evening, Michael picked Emma up after her school field trip. Their car suddenly broke down several miles from home. The repair shop told them it wouldn't be fixed until the next morning. Emma looked tired. "Dad," she whispered, "can we stay somewhere tonight?" Michael smiled warmly. "I think I know just the place." Instead of calling ahead or asking for special treatment, Michael decided to walk into his own hotel like any ordinary guest. He wanted to see how customers were truly treated when no manager was watching. The rain had soaked their clothes. Emma held her father's hand while carrying her little backpack. Inside the lobby, everything looked beautiful. Soft music played in the background. Guests laughed near the fireplace. But as Michael approached the front desk, the receptionist barely looked up. "We'd like a room for tonight," Michael said politely. The receptionist glanced at Michael's worn jacket and Emma's muddy shoes. "I'm sorry," she replied coldly. "We're fully booked." Michael noticed several room keys hanging behind the desk. "Are you sure?" he asked kindly. Before she could answer, another employee walked over. "We don't have anything available," the employee said sharply. "Maybe try the motel across town." As they turned away, a well-dressed couple entered the lobby. Without checking the computer for more than a second, the receptionist smiled brightly. "Welcome. We have several deluxe rooms available." Michael quietly watched. Emma looked confused. "Dad. I thought she said there weren't any rooms." Michael gently squeezed her hand. "It's okay, sweetheart." Nearby, an older housekeeper named Rosa had seen everything. She had worked at the hotel for over 20 years and remembered watching Michael grow up as a little boy running through the hallways with his father. Rosa immediately recognized him. Her eyes widened. "Mr. Carter," she said softly. The receptionist froze. The second employee suddenly looked nervous. Michael smiled at Rosa. "Good evening. How have you been?" Before Rosa could answer, the hotel manager rushed into the lobby after hearing the conversation. His face turned pale. "Mr. Carter. I had no idea you were here." Michael remained calm. "I didn't come here to surprise anyone," he said. "I simply wanted a room for my daughter and me." The lobby became completely silent. Guests began noticing something unusual was happening. The manager apologized repeatedly. But Michael wasn't angry. He looked at the receptionist and the other employee. "Can either of you explain why rooms were unavailable for us, but available for guests who arrived 1 minute later?" Neither of them answered. Finally, the receptionist admitted quietly, "We assumed you couldn't afford to stay here." Emma lowered her head. Michael knelt beside his daughter. "Never let anyone decide your worth by what you wear," he whispered. "Kind people look at hearts, not clothes." Several guests nearby smiled sadly after hearing his words. Michael stood up again. Every guest who walks through these doors deserves dignity. Some may be celebrating. Others may be grieving. Some might be spending their last savings for a safe place to sleep. We never know someone's story. The manager nodded with tears in his eyes. You're absolutely right. After reviewing security footage and speaking with several employees, the truth became even worse. The receptionist and her coworker had turned away multiple guests over the past few months simply because they judged their appearance. Some families had been embarrassed. Some elderly travelers had been treated disrespectfully. Others had left believing they weren't welcome. The manager immediately terminated both employees for repeatedly violating the hotel's values of fairness and respect. It wasn't because they made one mistake. It was because they had chosen unkindness again and again. Rosa gently took Emma's hand. I think someone deserves some hot chocolate. Emma finally smiled. Can I have marshmallows too? As many as you want, Rosa laughed. That evening, Michael and Emma stayed in a simple standard room instead of the luxury suite prepared for them. Michael wanted to experience exactly what every guest experienced. The next morning, he gathered the entire hotel staff. Instead of giving a long speech, he shared one lesson. Our hotel isn't remembered because of fancy rooms, he said. People remember how we make them feel. A warm smile costs nothing. Respect costs nothing. Kindness costs nothing. Yet these are the most valuable things we can ever offer. The staff applauded. Many promised themselves they would never judge another guest by appearance. In the weeks that followed, Michael introduced new customer service training focused entirely on empathy and kindness. Employees were encouraged to listen before making assumptions. They learned that every guest deserved patience, respect, and compassion. Soon, the hotel became known not just for beautiful rooms, but for making every visitor feel at home. Online reviews praised the friendly staff more than the comfortable beds. Families returned year after year because they felt genuinely cared for. One evening, Emma asked her father, "Do you think those employees learned their lesson?" Michael smiled. "I hope so. Sometimes the hardest lessons become the most important ones." Emma nodded thoughtfully. "Then I'll always choose kindness." Michael hugged his daughter tightly. That's all anyone can ask. The world is full of people carrying invisible burdens. We may never know the battles someone is fighting or the pain hidden behind a tired face. That's why kindness matters so much. A smile, a respectful word, or a helping hand can change someone's entire day, and sometimes, even their life. If this story touched your heart, remember its message wherever you go. Treat every person with dignity, no matter how they look or where they come from. Kindness has the power to open doors that money never can. And when we choose compassion over judgment, we make the world a little brighter for everyone.